Yeah, baby. Happy Friday to you, man. And ladies, I hope you're doing fantastic this morning here about 7:30 on Facebook. Just checking in just for a few minutes. Telling you everything going on Tony Kurre Radio, the TKR app. Download that app. We've gotten just a lot of downloads over the last few weeks, and it has to do a lot with our unique programming. We have all these wonderful shows: Mission Minded, Dr. Parrish, the Damon Johnson Show, Blues Almighty with Austin Hanks, who does with Billy F. Gibbons. We got Billy F. Gibbons from ZZ Top on our radio station 5 days a week. How cool is that? I mean, it's great. When in Rome with Stuart Rome, we did a show yesterday celebrating the 53rd anniversary of Woodstock. It is the Woodhouse at Woodstock. You'll hear that show all next week. We also have Live Wire Wednesday of Chairs, of course, every Wednesday night at 8 o'clock. And our brand new show, Need to Know with Kip Keefer, which, by the way, is our fastest growing show, probably because it's just Kip and his brain. We give him 30 minutes and just let him go, and he does a lot of prep. He's fantastic. He's out in Las Vegas right now, a brand new show with him called Wanna Bet, just in time for college football. See, that was great. I was sitting in my backyard yesterday, and Spain Park, man, there was football at Spain Park on a Thursday night. How flippin' cool is that? Brandon, good morning to you. I just love hearing that. And you hear music and stuff. I was like, it's just like, oh. And all of a sudden, it felt like it was 15 degrees cooler, and the leaves started falling off the trees, and giant, big-ass spiders started dropping webs all over the place. I love this time of the year. I cannot wait for high school and college football, and, of course, professional football as well. We'll talk about Deshaun Watson here in just a second. I want to mention a couple things. First of all, don't forget, big show going on later on tonight, Cowboy Mouth at WorkPlay. Talked to Tommy a couple days ago, Tommy Williams, Courtney, their entire crew. They do just a fantastic job. Great place. Everyone's bitching and moaning about $500 tickets. Go down there and check out Cowboy Mouth for $25. What a great night of entertainment at WorkPlay. Their doors open whenever you show up. Knock on the door, tell them you want a drink, go in, hit the bar, and get ready for a great showtime later on tonight. WorkPlay, you go to workplay.com for Cowboy Mouth later on tonight. Also want to thank our good friends at Coosa Valley Auto Sale. I've been talking about them a lot because they're one of our brand new sponsors, one of our brand new partners, and that's what I do whenever we get new partners, man. I like to shower them and love all over them. He was sending me like 17,000 pictures of cars yesterday, trying to get me to buy. I'm like, dude, you don't have to get me to buy a car. I'm buying a car from Coosa Valley Auto Sale. I think I've had like 20-something cars since I moved here in 1988. I used to trade in every 6 months. The car dealership would just bring a car and I just drive it, whatever. And I was paying for it. You know, I was doing endorsements for them, but I was all over the place. But what a really cool thing they got going on. It's a customer co-op. On any given day, all these little Easter eggs show up. Joseph, Mark Burnett, good morning to you. They show up on their lot. The cars come in. Normally, the cars aren't there for about 2 or 3 days. It's worth the drive to Sylacauga just to check out what they got going on at Coosa Valley Auto Sale. CoosaValleyAutoSale.com, CoosaValleyAutoSale.com, or you can call any of the guys, Al, Brad, David, Shane, Dakota, Jeremiah, the entire crew. They're ready for you. 256-267-0296. All right, so I'm going to be on the Jay Barker Radio Network a little bit later on this afternoon, probably about 12:30, 1 o'clock. And I'm sure we're going to be talking about this Deshaun Watson situation. Listen, I'm a guy, I've never been in that type of power, but I have no doubt that something incredibly creepy and uncomfortable and probably illegal happened with Deshaun Watson and these 25 women. Jeff Ray, good morning. Not all of them, but I've been around too many people with too much power to see how they react and negotiate this powerful life they have around people they know they have power over, particularly in the service industry. I've seen it at restaurants. I've seen powerful people treat waiters like shit. I've seen it all, right? And so I don't have any doubt that Deshaun Watson did something incredibly creepy, and that's probably why he apologized. I think the apology, it came after his suspension came down, which was too late, too little too late. I think the guy's an absolute creep. I was hoping he'd get suspended for even longer because I hate the Cleveland Browns because I'm a Cincinnati Bengals fan, and I didn't think 6 games was long enough. And now, of course, he's got 11 games and $5 million. $5 million. It's the biggest fine in the history of the National Football League. The dude just signed a $230 million contract. It's back-ended, but it's guaranteed. $5 million out of 230 ain't crap. Ain't nothing. Jeff Ray, good morning to you. So I'm kind of like, whatever, $5 million a drop in the bucket, this guy. So Haslam comes out yesterday, Jimmy Haslam, who's the Cleveland Browns owner. And in most cases, Jim Irsay does this a lot with the Indianapolis Colts too. It's like, just shut up. Just be quiet. We know you spent the money. We know you're happy he's going to be at least playing ball for your team after 11 games and 11-game suspension. There's still 6 games left in the season. Remember, they play 17 games. Andy Morgan, good morning to you. And Andy, by the way, I'm sending your stickers today, I promise you. I love you, and I'm sorry I have not sent the games to them. So 11 games and $5 million. So he says, Jimmy Haslam, I think in this country and hopefully in the world, people deserve second chances. Okay, I really think that. I struggle a little bit. Is he never supposed to play again? Is he never supposed to be part of society? Does he get no chance to rehabilitate himself? That's what we're going to do, okay? You can say that's because he's a star quarterback. Well, of course. But if he was Joe Smith, he wouldn't be in the headlines every day. We think people deserve a second chance. We give Kareem Hunt a second chance, and that worked out pretty well. The only thing he said that is correct, and at least he's being transparent, is, yeah, he's getting a second chance because he's a huge star, and you've invested $230 million in his ass. He could be a fourth-string guy, and he's going to be playing, and you want him on because you don't want to lose your investment. As an owner, I can see that. So we already know that, so stop. Stop that. The thing that kind of we have a hard time figuring out in this country, and I mean, I could go through the Michael Vicks, I could go through the Robert Downey Jr.'s, I could go through the Johnny Depps, we could go over and over. We're a redemptive society, and we love redemption. We love when someone has done something horribly wrong. We love when they admit to it, and we love when they turn their life around. Hell, Mike Tyson, for God's sakes. The dude can't get out of the way of trouble. He keeps screwing up over and over and over again, and he's been given so many chances. I don't know why. Probably because he still has a brand. And the reason we keep coming back to him and bring him back is because we like him. Because he reminds us a lot of us. Because we F up all the time. Just nobody knows about it, right? And so we love when people come back and continue. And they can screw up over and over and over again. And we keep giving them chances because maybe they're just a likable person. Or maybe it reminds a little something of us, like we wish we would have gotten those second chances. Well, we're not famous, and so we don't do that. So for Deshaun Watson, he's getting the second chance, and he is. And he hasn't played in a couple of years, so I don't know what he's going to look like on the football field. But before he did, when the Houston Texans, and by the way, that's going to be the first time he comes back for, is against his old team, the Houston Texans. When he comes back, as long as he's winning football games, no one's going to give a rip. If he wins his last 5 or 6 games, it's all going to go away. Now, I don't know what that says about the victims. He apologized again yesterday. He's like, yes, I talked to everybody. He ain't talked to anybody. He settled with everybody, but he ain't talked to anybody. And do you think he really cares about the woman who he ejaculated on? Come on. I mean, seriously. So we have to come with grips ourselves about how long should the consequence of a person's transgression last. And it appears it's going to be 11 games and $5 million. And to what extent are his or her second chances extended? In a lot of cases, if you're a schmuck and you do something wrong and you're working at Kentucky Fried Chicken, they give you a second chance. No one really cares. You're making $15 an hour, $12 an hour. No one knows who you are, and they're giving you a second chance. You screw up again, you're gone. In this particular case, when you're talking about a superstar or a potential superstar, Deshaun Watson, yeah, it's in the public eye. Everyone's talking about it. It's unbelievable. The whole idea that, if I did a massage and did something irrational or rude or assault-like or anything else to 2 women, I'd never get a job again. You're probably right. Someone would give you a job again. It's not a matter of not forgiving or saying that you're not allowed to be in society like Jim Haslam is. He's been in society. He's been in a lot of societies. That's not the point. The point is, has he paid his debt to our cultural society? In other words, is it long enough for us as human beings to go, you know what? He did some creepy things with 25 different women, and he looks like he's getting a slap of the hand. For us, it usually hits us financially, and when you're talking about $230 million and he's going to still get that, something just doesn't seem right. Is it 2 years? Is it 3 years? I know he's only got a certain window of opportunity in his playing career because usually by the age of 35, you're out of the National Football League. Do I think that the penalty was right? I don't know. But if he changes his way, I will say this. If he screws up one more time after going through this, and there's probably, if there's been 25 women, there's probably another one coming. He's obviously got great lawyers. we will give you a second chance, but you better not screw up again. You better not get any speeding tickets. You better not get no parking tickets. You better not get no DOIs. You better not have any issues with your fan base or your teammates or anything else. You better stay clean for a while, unless, of course, you start next season 12-0, and then we'll probably look the other way. A lot of us out there, and I can speak for myself, I should have been fired 5, 6, 7 times in my radio career. I started in 1988. I had a DUI, and back in radio, if you didn't get a DUI, you couldn't get a job in radio. I mean, you were the party dog if you got a DUI. It was years ago, 30-something years ago. But I had so many instances where I probably, if I had the wrong GM, probably could have been let go. Here's the difference. I worked really hard. I was a team player. For the most part, I think people liked me. I'm a non-confrontational kind of guy. I like to have a lot of fun, and I'm the fun guy, and I think people like that. And I brought a lot of revenue in. Deshaun Watson needs to work on the nice guy situation because every dude and woman I know thinks he's an absolute creep, and I think he is. So you're going to have to work on that. Even Michael Vick, towards the end, people started liking him again. It takes time. It takes time, right? And right off the bat, we're like, we don't know how much time that should be before you're given your second shot. And it appears the fact that he lost last season, they sat him out because they didn't want to bang him up for the trade, blah, blah, blah. But it had nothing to do with the case. So anyway, so Deshaun, you win football games in Cleveland, you're going to be a hero. Don't screw up. You're getting an opportunity that 99.9% of us never get. And that is you're coming out and you got a $230 million big fat paycheck waiting on you. I think it's really interesting because, you know, we talk about consequences and how long those consequences should last and what you're getting as a redemptive value coming out the other side. A lot of people will commit crimes and are willing to go to prison for 5, 10, 15 years knowing there's a huge chunk of change waiting for them to get out. So I would throw the question to you. If I gave you $3 million, how long, Buddy Little, how long would you be willing to go to prison for? Even if you had nothing wrong, it wasn't on your record. $3 million. Would you go to prison for an entire year, be away from your wife, your kids, your family, your husband, whatever, for an entire year if you knew coming out you're going to have $3 million? That's kind of what Deshaun Watson is doing. He's going to sit in prison for 11 games. He's going to come out and he's going to be fine. And again, the pressure's on him because that Cleveland fan base wants to win a Super Bowl. The Cincinnati Bengals came so close last year, and the fact that the team inside your state is getting there closer than you are, and you've invested so much into it, better happen. All right. I hope you have a fantastic weekend. Make sure you download the TKR app. You're doing me a huge favor by doing that. Just download it. If you don't like it, get rid of it. It takes you like 1 minute to download it. We've gotten close to 100 5-star reviews. Everyone loves the reviews. It's fantastic. We play classic rock and roll 168 hours a week. We get after it. Of course, all of our wonderful shows. You can also go to the Tony Kurre Radio Podcast Network. Just pull up Tony Kurre Podcast. It's Kurre with a K. And go back and listen to all of our shows. We have well over 400 shows up on our podcast network. Great shows, everything from business to non-for-profits to Leonard Skinner to rock and roll to ZZ Top to blues. When in Rome with Stuart Rome. We got some great shows. Need to Know with Kip Keefer. Our Wanna Bet show, by the way, which is going to start next week, is going to be our first visual show on Spotify and, of course, on Audio Boom and wherever you get your podcast. So you'll be able to watch Kip Keefer, and he's in Las Vegas right now doing those shows. So we got a lot of really cool stuff coming up here on Tony Kurre Radio. So make sure you check it out and check out our podcast platform. I love you. As always, thanks for watching this morning. Al Cooper, I'll be in touch with you today. Look at if you drove in the south side in the 80s after 2 a.m. drunk, 99% you're getting a DUI. That's true. That's why you parked your car and you just walked around. And yes, Coosa Valley Auto is open 10 to 5 today. Oh, you staying open till 5 o'clock today? Stay a little later on a Friday, are you, Al? All right. I love you guys. Have a great day. Appreciate you. Bless you.